myself Sunil R Nair, and here basically we are talking about the human resource basically. Who actually human resource groups are, and up to what level with this group basically can do. One person told that basically these groups are basically doing their job, right? Doing their job only, and they are supposed to do the job which they basically are supposed to do. Whatever job they basically gets, they do. They don't know basically that this person is going to get HIV/AIDS. This person is going to have a nasbandi. These people don't know. Why? Because some writer basically says that basically we have written this story of this type of people. We have written story of this type of people. We have written story of that type of people. We have written a story of those people. Those type of people. Like this, basically, the types of people are basically there. According to the types of people, basically, we have written the story basically. So here the main point is the World Bank basically is trying to find out why basically the that particular single person basically was removed from the blood group. So till now basically we see lots of things. Bollywood group also basically see we saw the Bollywood group also. Then we saw banking industry also. Then basically we saw that human resource also group basically. Human resource basically groups are doing whatever the basically they are supposed to do. But here the main thing is the writer basically who writes the thing basically according to what that. But then basically the question is basically how they know that this person is like this. That is the main question basically. That is the main question basically. That how they knows that this person is like this. Then one person told that do you know basically your each and every computer basically is connected with jasus group. Yeah. Basically jasus groups are connected with. So that group basically might be passing the data. That group basically might be, so on last day basically these groups are going to pass the data. One person asked that. Then they told that basically yeah basically this group is only going to pass the data on last day of world. On last day of world these groups are only going to pass that data. So he told that basically how many people are, then basically they told that basically this type of task basically never human basically never do. Human basically never do. They kept themselves safe. So who basically do this type of task? Then he told that basically for this lots of automatic system basically is created. Then he told that do you know that AWS? Then basically you know that is Amazon of AWS. Yeah. There basically set of system basically is manually system is basically created into automated system. Like this basically lots of crores of services basically gets handled automatically basically. Here basically human is not doing anything. So same way basically somebody has created this also, and this basically might be possible that it might be one of the services of AWS, that is Amazon, because if this required the AWS server, and basically 1500 crore computer basically it's not easy to handle also basically. So for that also basically it required a big infrastructure, big it's a very big infrastructure. So for that basically that infrastructure is required, that infrastructure should able to earn the money also. So that's basically very difficult, that basically gets the money but that takes lots of time basically. So it's a long term plan basically. The basically the groups basically who sends the information by the computers, and they say that this person is basically this type of person basically, this person is this kind of, this person is that kind of, this person is those kind of. So this all information basically they sends, and they basically the main thing is for example his mobile is at this location, he went to that location, this location, that location, those, this, that, this, each and every information also they pass. Like this also basically they tracks basically that which kind of person he is. So here basically the Jasusi company basically says that we basically don't get any money basically. but it's a long term money basically which we gets. For example, that person basically got HIV/AIDS due to his behavior, and at literally basically he is going to die. Literally that person is going to die na? So after that basically his money, each and everything basically we are going to capture it. For that basically we have created set of groups also basically. Then Jasus company says basically. So that the entire money basically is going to be us only. In going to is going to in our account also. Because due to our information basically he got HIV/AIDS. Then the person basically told that these Jasus groups are very dangerous basically. Then the one person told that then last day basically how many computer will be passing the information basically. He told that basically it's very dangerous. That basically you can ask the news channel agency because they tracks each and every house also. They basically track they basically keeps information of each and every house also. So on last day basically how many people are going to connect to each and every house. That basically one of the person basically literally asked. So like this basically things are there. Like these also basically things are there. So each and every condition is going to match according to the time. One person told that basically each and every energy basically with the earth planet is generating, that is already basically set. Yeah, basically the NASA and ISRO basically groups have done already. Basically they have done the each and every energy, and they have set it passed the information to universe also. They have done this task also. Oh, like this basically they have done this task also. Yeah, basically long time before only they have done. Long time basically before only they have done this each and every task. But how basically the activation is going to happen? Then he told that basically activation will happen basically, but that is going to take time. How many time basically? When basically, for example, that person will die, and just within half millisecond. So this many time is going to die. Within half millisecond, the universe group basically will break the chain also basically. Then he told that yes, basically you are correct here. Half millisecond is too much basically. Half millisecond is too much basically. Then he told that basically there might be some plan basically which will take just a few millisecond. Then he told that basically how that is possible. Basically. Then he told that basically have you seen the internet basically internet data pipeline basically which is already created? Do you see basically this mobile data basically which how basically the SMS is getting passed, how the calls are basically getting? These all are basically roadmaps, na, which is created by the Earth planet basically, which is created by the Earth planet. Nowadays basically the Android mobile are also there basically. Through this basically you can touch anyone. Sorry, no, damage basically anyone's body parts also. Do you know this basically? Then they told that mobile company basically do the damage of the body parts also basically. That's basically according to the requirement basically. According to the requirement they gets basically. They gets money for this also basically. But they basically say that the few companies only do this basically. Then one person told that basically how basically this big mobile company basically uh, earns money basically. Then he told that basically yes, you are correct. Yeah, 100% you are correct. They also basically are into the jasusi group basically because jasusi groups also give them money also basically. Otherwise basically they are going to do the task in free basically. Then he told that basically yes, you are correct. Yeah. So like this basically lots of jasusi groups have passed the information, and like this basically lots of information has been this matrix basically as the of the basically the uh, digital matrix basically has generated. Like this one person told that if the digital matrix somebody has changed, then basically it was that basically the satellite groups are connected with always the digital groups. You will break this. Then basically what about the satellite group? The satellite groups are always connected with the set of planets basically. Oh yes, you are correct here. Like this basically each and every task is done basically, that means like this basically the person basically told that how basically the human resource basically do the resource allocation, how they basically text the information that this person is not good, this person is that, this person is that kind of, because the jasus group basically gives the information. The jasus group basically literally gives the information and they earns in crores, basically crores, because one person basically if die, then rest of properties of the jasus company only, no? Because they are always connected with that person. So like this, basically the cycle of this jasusi income, basically that is lots of income basically they have generated. Lots of big income basically they have generated. Big income basically they have generated. How basically the jasusi groups basically are earning the income. Like this, basically the person basically literally told. Then basically he told that basically then basically half millisecond is enough basically. Yeah, half millisecond is not enough basically, because the satellite groups are always there to break the chain. Because he told that basically Earth planet is connected with set of satellites. Set of satellites are connected with the mobile data, internet data. But if they change the internet data and the internet lines, then also, but then also basically line they are going to draw. Na? Line basically they are going to 100% draw. If they are basically doing the lines through pipeline also, then also the in the environment basically in real basically internet is running basically how through the environment only. The wire basically they are basically just kept to do some connection basically of the house to house, but in real the internet works basically through the environment only. Through the environment only the data comes now basically. Then he told that yes, this then this wire that is basically in front of the public basically. In future, anybody says that basically we don't want internet in world basically, then what we will do? Then basically you have to think about yourself also. That's the way basically the internet group says that basically we never disclose our secrets. That internet is working through the environment, through the power supply, which is basically sent by the power companies, energy companies, that are the ONGC, IPCL, Reliance, and then basically aims oxygen, who basically send sometime the human souls also, and the human souls basically dumps into the lady's body also. That type of things basically was also done. Like this, basically aims oxygen also basically was cleared, but he basically keeps on handling each and everything basically. Aims oxygen also basically keeps on handling each and everything basically. This is that basically we are cleared basically from India, but they keeps on handling the Indian environment, because they says that basically still basically we have our human clones are in any of the body basically. On the last visit basically this is going on. So like this basically he told literally basically directly to tell that like this all things basically are there, like that basically things are there, like that this that basically the human resource keeps each and every data. Like this human resource says that this all data basically are also basically captured, this that, like this basically human resource keeps on taking that. Then basically they told that basically literally we filter the resources according to the jasus groups data, and then basically we key are also our human resource software also connected with the jasus industry. Whenever the person basically calls the sorry, whenever the resource calls the jas that person basically, then the jasus groups keeps gets active, and then basically they says that this person is like that, this person is like that, and like literally basically they do the like this in this basically. Sometimes cyber industry also connects here. Cyber industry says that basically he is basically his resume is basically blocked, why you have called like this. Then basically the group says that basically we are also from cyber group only, but we are doing the private work basically, work from home. Like this basically things are also basically like this each and everything basically. The jasos group says that basically we have the each and every information of the each and every computers, that this person is basically doing the job of cyber cell, this person is doing the job of the cyber cell, this person keeps the information of the each and every computer, what he is accessing, what is that person is accessing. Like this according to that basically we do the action. Like this basically we do the action. Like this basically Noval basically computer basically He says that basically, sorry, the company basically says that we basically also keeps the boot information, how many people basically are doing boot from which area basically is booting, like this each and every information we also basically keeps each and every information. Because it might possible that somebody says that this person was when he was doing this particular crime, means basically damaging somebody's head, somebody's eye. That time basically I was not here in this city only, but they want he basically want to keep the personal each and every real information basically. Otherwise, basically he told that it might possible that small thing basically converts into third world war basically. That's why basically we have to keep ourselves secure. Basically, we have to know all basically companies in Mumbai. So we have to. It might possible that Maharashtra government say that basically why basically you have given the wrong information. In real, basically he was here. Then he literally told that basically how you know what. How basically you know that basically Novel Computer told that basically I am handling the computer each and every data basically. Then how you know that basically? Then the government told that basically we are passing the power supply to you. Then he told that we are passing the power supply to you, na? And we are taking the data back also basically. Oh, like this basically you are tracked. Then Noval told basically, yeah, basically we are also basically getting tracked by some group basically. The Noval company basically that person, sorry, the company told that basically we are also getting tracked by the government. Basically. That basically are the government, power company, energy company, like this basically company. Like this basically the human resource groups basically told that like this basically also we handles the we gets the resource data basically. Like this also basically we gets the resources data basically. Literally the basically small things basically converted into big. Like this basically the bank person basically who was recruited by the World Bank basically he told that basically the things has basically reached a very dangerous level basically. Things basically has reached up to the very dangerous level. That means anything basically can happen any second. So I should actually leave to back to India. That would be fine basically. That would be fine. So basically, he told that basically I should leave to India. Sorry, back to India. Basically, that would be fine. That would be fine basically because anything can happen anytime. Basically, literally that World Bank basically person only told. Like this basically each and every world bank person basically told that we should leave back to India because anything can happen any second. Like this basically they were also basically recruited by some of the human resource group. They were also basically recruited by some of the any resource group basically. So just see basically the human resource are basically up to what big level also basically. The World Bank, the person basically which was recruited, that was also recruited by one of the human resource group basically. World Bank is also basically getting recruited by one of the group basically. So you can just imagine basically the things basically has reached. So just see basically the power of the human resource basically. And literally basically few human resource basically group misuse the power also basically. And few basically groups say that basically human resource basically groups are handled by the Bollywood group also. They are basically handled by their friends group also. They are basically getting handled by the businessman group also. Like this, basically they are handled by the companies also. Basically, they are basically getting data from anywhere. Basically, like this, basically they says that basically wherever from we are going to get more money, there only basically we recruit the people. Basically, that group only basically we do the recruitment. Like this basically the education basically has become business nowadays. Nowadays basically the education has converted into the business by set of next generation groups. Like this basically the education has converted into the business nowadays. Even basically you know the set of even basically you know more than Harvard, you know the more than Oxford basically, but you are not done the study in the Harvard and Oxford basically, then basically you are not going to get job in the MNC company. So the condition basically in the MNC company, you should able to do the job in. You should basically get you should get have the degree of Harvard, Oxford basically. That basically, and you should have a good degree like BTech, MTech basically. That type of degree also you should have. Basically. Even basically you have knowledge more than the BTech, MTech, Harvard, MCA, MBA. Then also basically the degree basically sense the matter. So like this basically the human resource group says that. So like this basically the human resource group says that basically we basically are we are passing the we basically says that we have done the crime. Then basically we accept the we have done the crime, and according to that basically we are ready basically. According to that, the human resource group says that basically we are ready basically. We are ready basically. The human resources literally basically told that basically we are ready for each and everything basically whatever things are going to happen. We are ready for our army people are ready for third world war also. Up to that level basically we have planned. Because in this basically plan few lots of big army people are also basically there to removing that particular blood cells from that human resource that particular blood group basically few army groups are also basically there. Like this basically things basically are also there. So from human resource basically we connected to many basically departments. So he basically told that basically from human resource basically I can reach to many departments basically. Like this the basically diagram of the matrix basically the roadmaps basically connects this way also basically he told literally. So basically in the energy environment basically there are basically one roadmap basically which says that this data is coming from this data is coming from that, these groups are basically accessing this data, these groups are accessing that data, and that is basically connected with the satellites. And sometimes basically few groups says that basically satellites are not supposed to connect directly. So they say that basically offline satellite group basically we can create. That is basically the NASA and ISRO basically. That means this chain connection basically is very old basically. 100 200 year basically before only basically somebody tracked that chain resource basically is very dangerous. So we should create some satellite in the Earth planet only basically. That would be good basically. Somebody tracked this long before 200 years, before 300 years, or before only. Then he told that basically we should create some satellites in Earth planet only. Then they told that basically NASA ISRO will be good. Then he told that basically yeah, basically NASA ISRO will be good. Okay. So that basically we will take the data basically from NASA ISRO as a periodically. Then they told that basically like, the data will, if we take at this time 11 o'clock morning or 11 o'clock night, that would be fine. Then they basically do the meeting basically on 11 o'clock, which type of resource are basically active, which type of resource basically do which type of task. So according to that, basically we will tell basically that which time will be the perfect time to collect the data of the Earth planet. Like this basically the NASA group and ISRO group says that we have the list of each and every resources basically which is basically given by the our NASA and ISRO's human resource group. And they told that basically the human resource groups basically are in NASA and ISRO also basically. That means one person told that is NASA and ISRO basically human resource groups are handling the company's human resource group basically. So like this basically the chain connected to NASA and ISRO resource group that are basically the mini satellite which basically says that the we are basically the mini satellite of the Earth planet. Then basically the major satellite basically connects to us, and that time is basically 11 o'clock day and 11 o'clock night. That basically times the day basically they basically gets the data. This time basically we have given according to the resources basically which are available in the market when they are basically doing this type of task, when they are doing that type of task, when they are basically kept busy according to that basically plan basically which we have done. According to that basically we are giving you this time basically. So this time will be okay in our satellite group. Then the NASA and ISRO group basically was sent by the message by the satellite group. Basically, yeah, basically that would be okay. NASA, ISRO, group like this. Basically, they says that basically we have created the offline satellites. That is basically the NASA and ISRO. Like this, basically next, basically we are going to see basically the up to what level the human resource chain basically is connected.